Hi, Tiffany Harper here, and today we are going to expand a little bit on the topic that we shared with yesterday, which was share with the product with 2 new people each day. Beachbody Basic number 4 is follow up with the people that you shared with yesterday. So this is the part of the business where you need to be extremely organized. You need to be writing everything down, keeping track of who you're talking to. You may feel like you can remember it all in your head. I know at first in this business, I thought, oh, I'm not going to write it down. I'm just going to remember it all. But I'm a mother and I have mommy brain. I can barely remember what I did this morning. So it's really important that I write who I talked to, what we talked about, keeping track of that on I use a little journal. That's personally the system that works best for me because I can just grab it, look at it, and then go back. But I'm not going to tell you what's the best way to do it. You just need to find a system that works. So if it's pen and paper, awesome. If it's your phone, do it. If it's Excel, awesome. Just you need to find a system that works best for you, so that way you can be consistent and it'll be easier for you. And as you master the habit of writing things down and keeping track of people, when you go back to follow up, you don't have to search all over the place to remember, like, were they on Facebook or were they on Instagram or whatever. You have all of that information at your fingertips. You just grab and you go and you do your work. Remember, you only have a small window of time, especially if you're really busy. You need to be very efficient with your time. So keeping track and writing everything down is very important. Here's what I do when I'm writing down and keeping track of the people that I'm talking to. I get their name. I also write down how we connected. So if that's on Twitter or Instagram or Facebook or by email, my phone, I make sure and put all the information down. I put their screen name, if they're from Instagram or Twitter, if they're in my inbox, what part of the inbox. I also write down what we talked about, what was the questions asked. I also write down what am I following up about. So if I sent them, so for instance, if they want Shakeology, information on Shakeology, I will send them information about, I'll ask them a question if they watch the video, I'll follow up about that video if I sent them a video. If I sent them information about my upcoming challenge group, I'll be sure and follow up about that and see if they have any questions about that and how I can best serve them, and if they need anything else from me. So when I'm following up with them, I'm making sure I'm asking more questions so I can get more answers and so I can better understand how I can help them. Because the initial conversation usually is just, yeah, I'm really interested. Okay, here's information. Maybe this will help you out. And then when I follow up, I'm digging a little deeper. I'm digging into their reason as to why they want to know more. So that way I can best help them. I can best figure out what would be the best solution at this point. Now, a couple things. You don't want to harass them or follow them up like you're stalking them. You don't want to stalk people. If they don't respond to you right away, it could be a number of things. It could be they just aren't ready, it's not the right time, they're really busy, they didn't get it. So what I tend to do is I do a max of 2 extra follow-ups. And I'm very pointed when I ask them any questions in my follow-up. I said, hey, just checking up with you. I noticed that I didn't hear back from you for my last email. I'm going to follow up with you just this one last time as my challenge group is beginning, and I want to make sure that the people who are committed are ready to go. And if you're ready, I would love to help you get started. If not, I do these every single month. Just let me know. I'm here. It lets them know that, hey, I'm here, I'm available, but I have a job to do and I need an answer. So if they can't answer me, I'm not going to harass them. It lets them know I'm not going to stalk you. I don't need you. It sounds bad. I don't need you to validate my business or my responses. I just need an answer from you. And if I don't hear from you, I'm going to assume that you're not interested. I'm going to move on. So it gives them some confidence, because if you keep emailing them over and over and over again, they're going to lose confidence in the fact that you can actually help them. They might actually think, hey, this chick keeps emailing me about Shakeology. She probably can't sell this stuff. That's why she keeps emailing me over and over again. I can sell it. People will buy it. I don't need them, but they wanted my help, and so I'm following up with them this one last time saying, hey, this is available for you if you want it. If you're not going to respond, I'm going to move on. But I'm available should you decide you're ready to try it. So that's something to keep in mind when you're following up with people. If you set a limit to how much you're going to follow up. So for me, it's usually like once or twice. By the second time, if I don't hear back, I move on. I don't have the time. There are people who are interested, and I want to be able to give my best to them. So if that's you, I would suggest setting a limit to how much you're going to follow up and then move on. It can be very scary to follow up because you're so afraid of hearing no. But the best advice I ever got was that if you don't ask, they're already in your worst possible scenario. They've already said no. They're not in your challenge groups. They're not buying from you. They're not interested in partnering with you on your team. So it can't hurt by asking. The worst that can happen is that they say no. So don't be afraid to go for that ask. Don't be afraid to follow up with them, and be very specific and very clear. And keeping track of all of this stuff will make your lives easier. So that way you will hear more yeses in this business and less nos. But again, you have to be organized. You have to have a system in place. So that way it will be easier for you as you progress through your business. Thank you for watching. Can't wait for our next video.